Hi there, welcome back. This is part 2 of the cardiac cycle. Ventricular systole, which is isovolumetric contraction, and ventricular ejection. The purpose of this video is to explain how the ventricles contract. First, building pressure with all valves closed, which is isovolumetric contraction, then ejecting blood once pressure exceeds that in the arteries. In the last video, we finished with ventricular filling, where the ventricles filled both passively and actively during diastole. Now, those filled ventricles are ready to contract. In this part, we'll begin ventricular systole, the contraction phase of the cardiac cycle. The contraction phase starts with isovolumetric contraction. As systole begins, the ventricles start to contract. This raises ventricular pressure sharply. When it just exceeds atrial pressure, the atrioventricular valves snap shut. When the atrioventricular valves snap shut, this produces the first heart sound, S1. Now, for a brief moment, all 4 valves are closed. Because no blood enters or leaves, this is called isovolumetric contraction. Iso means same, volume means no change. Pressure continues to rise quickly, preparing to open the semilunar valves. So now, when ventricular pressure becomes higher than the pressure in the aorta and pulmonary artery, the semilunar valves open. Blood is then ejected forcefully. The right ventricle sends blood to the lungs. I'll draw that here. And the left ventricle to the body. Draw that here. This phase is called ventricular ejection. At first, blood flows out rapidly, the rapid ejection period. As the ventricles begin to relax later in systole, flow slows, the reduced ejection period. By the end, the ventricles have pumped out about 70 to 80 milliliters of blood, leaving around 50 milliliters behind. This is the end systolic volume. Now we made it to the end of systole and the transition. As ventricular pressure falls below that in the arteries, the semilunar valves close. This produces the second heart sound, S2. This marks the end of systole. Next, the ventricles will relax, entering isovolumetric relaxation, which we'll explore in the following video. Let's now review the main phases of ventricular systole. First, during isovolumetric contraction, the ventricles contract, but all valves stay closed. The pressure builds, but there is no volume change. Then comes ventricular ejection. The semilunar valves open, and blood is pumped into the arteries. Ventricular volume decreases from about 120 milliliters down to 50 milliliters, moving from end diastolic to end systolic volume. By the end of systole, the ventricles are almost empty and ready to relax, leading us into isovolumetric relaxation, which is the next phase of the cycle. This is what we will be talking in the next video. See you then.